Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to have your soul shine? It's time for the Girlfriend Hour. We're so happy to have you here, and we can't wait for you to meet our incredible guests. But first, please put your hands together for our wonderful host, the enigmatic Shar Moore.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Girlfriend Hour. We have a great show lined up for you today with some wonderful guests who will be generously sharing with us their secrets to living an abundant and fulfilled life. We'll talk about how to foster a growth mindset, loving the skin you're in, and finding the courage to follow your passions. We're also going to learn some very tangible tactics and strategies to running a small business, learning how to pivot and how to ask for help. Sit back, relax, and let's welcome our first inspiring guest to the Girlfriend Hour couch. The powerful Kathryn Morrow is founder and owner of KGM Nutrition. Her passion is helping women feel incredible in their own skin. Mama of twin girls and a little boy, Kathryn was forced to reinvent her business from home during the pandemic. She is an expert on perseverance and how to pivot. And now she's written a whole course so other stay-at-home parents can earn an income whilst juggling parenting at home. Simply amazing. Give it up for Kathryn Morrow. Hi, how are you, Kathryn? Thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely a pleasure, Shar. So nice to be here.
Oh, I know it's like middle of the night for you, so we really appreciate you being here with us on the Girlfriend Hour.
I love it.
Kathryn, where does your passion for nutrition and health actually come from?
You know what? It extends so far back. You know, like a lot of young women, I developed an eating disorder at a young age. I was absolutely obsessed with my body. And the positive that came out of that was that I dug deep to figure out what was going to fuel my body, what was going to fuel my mind, and how to get healthy. And so that was kind of the backbone of my program. It was coming from something really toxic and really destructive, but it turned into something really productive and really, really healthy.
That's fantastic. And Kathryn, a lot of people had to pivot their businesses during the pandemic, and you did as well. Take us through how you managed that pivot, because it was quite a big pivot.
Oh my goodness. To say we pivoted was an understatement. You know, I know COVID was really, really difficult for a lot of people, a lot of families, a lot of businesses, and my heart goes out to everybody that had to endure that. But when it comes to our family and our business, we went online immediately. We had already been online, but we went online immediately. And when we went online, we had to develop really, really intimate relationships with our customers, which meant we learned a lot more about them than just fitness and nutrition. And we learned that marriages were struggling. You know, mothers were snapping at their children and snapping at their husbands. And so we saw we saw a hole that needed to be filled, and we filled it. And so basically, we expanded our business not only to include marriage coaching, parenting coaching, and all sorts of things that you can't even, put a name on.
Absolutely. And there was a lot going on during that time, definitely. And so how did you manage running a thriving business and juggling your gorgeous family?
Oh, well, thank you for the compliment.
She's got the most gorgeous little twin girls. They are divine. And your little boy.
Thank you so much. Well, I always say God makes them cute, so you keep them because it can be,
I love that.
It can be difficult at times. They definitely push all of our buttons. But when it comes to business and running a business, I really, really feel like I was built for it. And so that's one of the reasons that I like to lead other women, is because I feel like I've found my way. And so, it was difficult at times because I wanted to spend more time with my children, and I had to spend time in my business. I was stripped of my mat leave when my little girls were babies. I had to bring my girls to the gym. So the twin girls you talked about, I had to bring them to our gym. And then when COVID hit, I had an automatic mat leave because now I was stuck at home And I say stuck loosely because I was blessed to be stuck at home with my little ones. And then when we pivoted our business, of course, I got pregnant with our third baby, and I've always been at home with them. And so how is it? It's busy, but I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, absolutely. What a great blessing to be stuck with. And Kathryn, look, I know if you're watching at home and you've been on any diet or program, they normally say cut the wine. And here in the audience, has anyone ever been told cut the wine if you're going to lose weight? Kathryn, you have a way that we can drink the wine and lose weight. So you absolutely need to share, girlfriend. Who else wants to know that? Yes.
Yes, absolutely. It's so important. Well, the first thing is to drop the guilt and drop the shame, because hormonally, when your cortisol levels are spiked and when you feel guilty about having that glass of wine, that's what's going to do you in. But I'm a little bit of a science geek, and so I'll give you the science behind it as well. And so the next best thing, aside from having the right mindset and dropping that guilt and shame, is going to be making sure that the rest of your day is going to be balanced. And so your dietary fat needs to be, I won't get too sciencey on you, but your dietary fat needs to be within a certain range. And if you're going to have a glass of wine at the end of the day, you want to make sure that your fat percentage is in that right range, so that not too much of what you're eating is being converted to fat, because alcohol would be considered a toxin.
Oh, now that deserves an applause. You are now my favorite person ever.
When women underestimate themselves, they don't realize what they're capable of. And for me, I really love to instill that confidence and instill that value in them, so that they know that they can be the superstar wife, the superstar mother, the superstar business owner, and you don't have to give up part of yourself. So you don't have to be anything less to give other people more. And that's one of the things that I like to live by, because women, especially wives and mothers, think that they have to be less because they're giving so much of themselves up, but that's simply not the case. And so for me, I really want to, it's my passion to teach women that they can be more and give more all at the same time.
That's fantastic. Honestly, we could have a whole show filled with you, Kathryn. Don't go anywhere. Let's give it up for Kathryn, but please don't go anywhere.
Thank you.
You're amazing.
Thank you, Shar.
We're going to have you back on in a few minutes. And our next guest is an absolute superstar and all-round delight. Brooke Hanson is an Olympic gold medalist, TV presenter, author, mother, and motivational speaker. Is there anything she can't do? Let's find out. Please give Brooke a big girlfriend hour welcome. How are you? Welcome to the show. Oh,
that is for you.
Thank you. When silver is gold. What a gorgeous book cover. Let me sit that there. That's amazing. Thank you for coming on the Girlfriend Hour. This is a bit exciting for me. No pressure.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be on.
Yay. So walk us through your Olympic and championship career.
Well, I had the Olympic dream at the age of 4, and I just wanted to be an Olympian.
At the age of 4?
Yeah, and go to the Olympics and represent my country and wear the green and gold with the coat of arms on my chest. And I was just inspired by the Olympians that had gone before me, and it just stayed with me. And I missed 2 Olympic teams by a couple of 100ths of a second, and had people telling me, you're too old, you're too slow, you should give up, go get a real job. And I think, as a woman, I'm just so proud that I didn't. I found that determination, that resilience from within to say, no, I want to be true to myself, true to that young 4-year-old me. And I finally achieved Olympic gold and silver at a time when most people had thought that my time had passed me by.
You showed them. Now, being an elite athlete takes incredible tenacity. Where did it actually come from for you?
Oh, I believe it definitely comes from those women around me, my grandmothers, my mother, my family, but really they empowered me to just believe in myself. And a lot of it does sit with me to be determined and resilient and to never give up. And everything that I put into my swimming career and the training sessions and, the lonely laps and to represent my country 25 times over all of those major international events, it was wonderful to achieve that. But everything I learned along the way, I've now just implemented every single thing into my own business, into my own personal brand and running my own company. And I think those life lessons will be with me forever.
Absolutely. And there's so many things that we can take from that and implement into our lives. But I can imagine, Brooke, that going on that journey, there would have been some challenges to overcome because it's nothing as smooth sailing, as they say. What were some of yours?
Definitely those missed teams, times when you were told I was told I wasn't good enough. I got told I was allergic to chlorine. I had injuries,
That's
illness.
a bit of a problem.
Definitely. Injuries, illness, just upsets along the way. But I think remaining true to myself and just being my authentic, real self and going, do you know what? I've got this.
Yes.
And there's times where you doubt yourself and others doubt you as well. But I think what I'm most proud of is that I did it, that I didn't give up, that I found a positive every single day to focus on. And I just continued to shine even in those dark times when I didn't think I could swim another lonely lap. I did.
Oh, it must have taken everything. And I'd love to dive in now. So if you're watching at home, what are some of the tips, Brooke, that some of our audience around the world can tune into from you around fostering that real positive mindset? How do you actually foster that? And what are some tips that they could try themselves?
Just choosing that positive mindset every day is so important.
Which isn't easy. So how do you do it when the wheels fall off?
So
and you just want to have a wine, which we've been given permission from Kathryn to do, as long as we have the balance of fats.
just you can only hold one thought at a time. So I always say make it a positive one. Even at 4 a.m. in the morning when I was up for training.
That should be on a T-shirt, right? One thought at a time, make it a positive one.
Make it a positive one. And then, we have 1,000 things on our to-do list. Every day we want to get through 1,000 things, especially as women.
Yes.
But I just say, just do one thing. Just one great thing every day. So we can go to bed tonight and you lay in bed and you go, do you know what?
Yeah.
I achieved just one great thing today.
Yes.
And I'm happy with that.
Yes.
And I really believe that choosing a positive mindset, being that happy person, and I've always got a smile on my face, hence when silver is gold.
Yeah.
I was so proud that I'd finally achieved being on the podium, achieving an Olympic medal. I came home as the happiest silver medalist. You couldn't wipe the smile off my face because I was proud that I swam my fastest time in the biggest sporting event in the world, in the final at the Olympic Games.
Wow.
And I was proud that I did that for me. And I think at times we get so carried away with what everyone else thinks, and it's very toxic at times.
Yes.
But instead of blocking out all the negativity, following your own dream, your own heart, your own resilience, and owning it and putting your shoulders back and giving yourself a pep talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd do that in the Olympic final. I still do it now.
Yeah.
Come on, you got this, girl. You've got this.
Love that.
And blocking out the negativity was always and still is a big thing for me of just choose that positive thought every single day.
Yes, if you've only got one, make it a positive one. Great thing to write down, people at home as well. Now, what was the process of writing your book? Because when silver is gold, what a great title, right? Because it doesn't always mean that you've got to just get gold. You can get silver and it means it's gold anyway. Yeah. But what was the process of going through writing the book? It would have brought up a lot of those lonely laps, as you call them, and training times and times you missed out by hundredths of a second. It would have brought all of that up for you. Take us through the process.
Yeah, it was therapeutic, and I loved sharing my stories, my journals. I kept journals the whole way as well, and I'm just so proud to release my autobiography, and I now sell them through my website, brookehanson.com. The money all goes to a special charity, Life's Little Treasures Foundation, and they support families of babies born premature or sick, and it's a charity really close to my heart. And I found the whole experience really therapeutic, and it was quite spiritual in a way to reflect, and I really felt like I grew from the whole experience.
Oh, fantastic. Well done. And how has being a parent changed your perspective?
Being a mum was more prouder than winning Olympic gold and silver, and to finally it's
an Olympic race as it is, isn't it? Raising a family.
It definitely is. But to be a mum now of 4, I have 3 with me, and our angel that looks over us and guides me and gives me so much purpose and passion every day. And it was heartbreaking to, I guess, face my biggest nightmare as a mum, and that's to have to bury my son. That was difficult, but being a mum has just changed. It's changed my life, and like like so many of us that are parents. At times, of course, they're testing every single boundary, but I'm looking at them going, wow, like we created these, these beautiful children, and Jack, who looks over me, the purpose that he gives me every day to empower other people to live every day like it's their last. I live now with his energy, and every single thing I do is to give back to him and to connect with charities like Life's Little Treasures, who really supported me through those times when in hospital I didn't think I could keep going, and there was days that it was really tough. But it's nice now as a mum to know that I am continuing to give back and support other parents that have been through the same thing.
That's so beautiful. What's next for Brooke Hanson?
So exciting to let you know what's next. I'm just about to release a energy health, energy management course for so many people to connect with and to enjoy that. And I've just teamed up with a girlfriend, and we're actually just collaborated together and presenting courses on my period is my superpower.
Oh,
yeah.
What a great, lovely idea. Fantastic.
Yeah, so it's really, embracing and empowering those young teenagers to help them realise that it is that hormonal time and how they can
embrace it
and cope with it and understand that it is normal.
Yes.
And that it can be your superpower. I raced at the Olympics with my period, and that was the biggest sporting event in the world, and there's times that it's going to come at the worst time, but you can get through it. So it's watch this space. There's so much exciting things happening for me, and I'm just enjoying every single day.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you. We're going to have a chat. Let's have a D&M, Kathryn. Brooke, come with me. All right, ladies and gents, it's D&M time. This is a segment designed to go a little deeper on topics that are really, really important to women and to find the courage to actually talk about them. Please welcome back Kathryn and Brooke to join me as we go a little bit deeper on the women's health issue. So talk to us, Kathryn, firstly, a little bit about women's health and what you feel is going on at the moment.
You know what? There's so much going on with women's health, but I think one of the biggest things is that women are not prioritizing their mental health. And when I say that, I think that women forget what it is that's important to them. And so it's going to take a lot of digging deep to figure out what it is that they really love and what it is that they really want, because that's what's going to make them healthy in the long run, is figuring out who they are again.
Absolutely. What about you, Brooke?
Yeah, definitely. Mental health should be our priority as women, and mental well-being and putting ourselves first and realising if we're taking care of ourselves first, we're going to be a better mum, a better partner, a better friend, a better work colleague, just a better us.
Yes.
So I believe that mental well-being and wellness, exactly what Karen said, comes back to nutrition, to well-being, and just finding that time each day where we can prioritise being healthy, being fit, and just being active.
Yes, absolutely. And I feel that as well, women's health, often we put it last. We'll often look after everyone else in the home and our children and family, and then at the end of the day, it's like, oh, what about my health? So Kathryn, how do you prioritise yourself with your business and your family as well? How do you make sure that you carve out time for yourself?
Well, it's not easy. You have to be intentional. And so having a schedule, the more children you have, the more difficult it is. The more responsibilities you have, the more difficult it is. If you have pets, if you have a husband, if you have a job, everything seems to come first. So having a schedule and prioritizing the things that are important. So one of the things that I learned a few years ago, actually, is what makes me feel like a woman is making sure that I wash my hair and dry my hair so that it's not up in a messy mom bun. It makes me feel like a woman. It makes me feel powerful. And when you feel powerful, you're more capable of doing a lot of other things. And so something as simple as, for some people, it's doing their nails or doing their eyelashes. And oftentimes it's something superficial. It seems like it's superficial, but really it's something that resonates in your core. And so for me, it's making sure that my hair is washed and dried. And if my hair is washed and dried, I can take on the world. So on top of the schedule, Pick one thing that makes you feel like a powerful woman, whether that makes you feel beautiful, whether it makes you feel strong, whether it makes you feel healthy. Pick that one thing and complement that with a schedule so that you can actually prioritize yourself and fit some things in for yourself.
That's a great idea. No more mum bun for me. Actually, no, I probably will. But I love that idea, Kathryn. Works for you. What about you, Brooke?
Yeah, I love that one thing as well. For me, it's definitely being active daily and trying to find time for that. And I believe that I can definitely still connect with the water. I still love it, swimming in the ocean, swimming in the pool. But I find that time is just so important for physical, mental, spiritual and emotional well-being. So prioritising even as much as half an hour a day. For me, I like an hour or 90 minutes is great, but putting it into your schedule, and I would never miss a training session. And I see that now as a mum, like so many of us, balancing and juggling busy schedules. I make sure that the number one thing I do is do something every single day, and that's being active.
Yeah, I love that. Please thank Brooke and Kathryn for being on the Girlfriend Hour today. Thank you so much. That was amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Kathryn. Thank you so much for being here. That was amazing. Oh, now we're going to have some fun. Who's up for some fun? Who's feeling in the winning mood? Only two of you. What about the rest? Come on, Kelly. Come and join me on set. Let's see if we can give away some of these prizes. We have some fabulous prizes from a lot of amazing sponsors. Let me tell you what's up in our flower garden. So we have our grand prize, which sits in the middle, sponsored by the amazing Be Styled for Life. And behind every one of these numbers is some great gifts. We have gifts from Be Styled for Life. We have Storm in a D Cup, Women in Bloom, a pair of these gorgeous Kicks shoes, and they're so comfortable, a gorgeous Lisa Pollock picnic basket and platter, and gorgeous gifts from Fashion Flaunt. So, Kelly, what do you think? Who are we going to get down to play this amazing game?
Thank you for noticing that I was here, because I get to see our amazing studio audience people that I get to choose. And I think I like the colour green the most today.
Like the colour green?
Yes.
Okay.
So if anyone is wearing beautiful bottle green, could you please come down? Yay!
Give her a round of applause. Come on. Woo!
Please tell us your name.
Johnny?
Johnny. Oh, really?
Yes, I was a bit of a mistake, meant to be a boy.
Oh.
So
It really is Johnny.
Yep.
And how's it spelled?
J-O-N-N-E.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Different.
This is Shar.
Hello, how are you? Give it up for Johnny.
Have you got a favourite number?
I'd say 7.
Oh.
7, okay.
Well, there's a grand prize up there.
Well,
So
there is too.
yes.
So you can say grand prize or 7, because the grand prize wins everything.
Oh!
You're going to need a lot of helpers to walk you out today.
Have you got a big car to drive home?
No.
Okay, right. Okay, well, I'll hold your mic.
7, okay.
And you...
Give it a nice big spin. Let's give it some good energy for 7.
Ooh, that was a nice big one.
Oh,
Come on, 7. Come on, 7. Come on, 7. Oh, 5.
Amazing. You have won a gorgeous Lisa Pollock picnic basket and serving platter. Give her a round of applause.
Let's see the
here
magic.
it is.
Oh,
Thank
it
you.
appears.
Yeah.
The
Wow,
magic
look at
hands.
Congratulations.
Oh,
Isn't that
that's
gorgeous.
beautiful.
There you go. You can go out and have yourself a picnic. Congratulations. We'll be back right after this.
Are you loving the Girlfriend Hour so far? We hope you've been inspired by the wonderful women you've seen sharing their stories. Do you have an inspiring story of your own to share? We're looking for magic just like yours. Be featured in Feminescence magazine and start your own exciting media journey. Join many other fabulous women who've been profiled in Feminescence magazine. Unlock access to an international audience, propel your career and expand your network. Make today the day you back yourself. What are you waiting for? Visit feminescence.com.au to find out more.
Our next guest is a masterclass in grit, grace and creativity. The wonderful Lisa Pollock is an artist from the Gold Coast, Australia. She has turned her talent for making beautiful artwork into a wonderful decorative gifts homewares business. She has learnt an incredible amount over the past couple of years about pivoting her business to suit the changing times. We can't wait to learn from her. Please join me in welcoming Lisa to the Girlfriend Hour couch.
Hello, we're coming this way. Hello. Thank you.
Have a seat.
Thanks. Hello, everyone.
Divine. You always look divine.
Thanks, honey.
Lisa, starting as an artist is not something everyone really gets out there and does. So how did you get started?
Oh, look, I started my business 18 years ago, so it's definitely been a journey to get, to where I am today. I've always loved creating. At school it was art, it was photography, it was pottery, it was always something like that. So my grandparents gave me an easel when I was 10 and it really lit the fire, and I've just sort of always been heading in this direction.
And I love the connection that your art has with nature. Is this an important aspect of actually who you are as a person?
Oh, absolutely. So if I'm in nature, it's totally my happy place. Like, it fills my soul, and like, we're massive campers, we go bushwalking, and like with my art, it really inspires me. Like, I can just sit down there and be still and be in the moment. You just see how amazing everything is, and yes, I'm definitely inspired by nature. Yeah.
And so how did you go from being 10 with the easel, loving art, to then starting a business in this space?
Okay, well, I think it was a gradual thing. So saying that I was really crafty. So I used to work full time, and I used to do the markets on a Friday night, a Saturday night, and I was always doing little crafty things. I think I did pottery, I did tie-dyed T-shirts, don't know what happened there. And it wasn't really until I found the courage to put my artwork out there to the public that my business really took off. So it's definitely been a journey in learning to trust and to really get myself where I was confident enough to be able to do it. So, and that's, that was really where it all changed.
Yeah, amazing. And look, a lot of people see successful business owners like you and they think, oh, it's all right, they've never had anything go on, but you've had your challenges in business. Do you want to share with our audience at home as well as here today some of those challenges?
Yeah. Well, I think you're going to love this. I think the biggest challenge is myself. So, because I think in business there's so much pressure, and I think it's, all the mind games and your thoughts and, your self-language, like that can bring you unstuck.
That inner critic.
More than any challenge that you're going to face. So probably one of the biggest things I've learned over the years is that you always have the power to choose how you react.
Yes.
So, and because business is going to throw things at you, I could bore you. We don't have enough time.
It's only an hour show.
Yeah. So I think for me, it's been my biggest lesson to learn, and my biggest challenge is to really understand that and know that in any situation, you do have the power to really choose how you're going to handle it. So,
Yes, I mean, even the way this lady answers her phone, she's happy hello.
Happy hello.
Everything is always starting with a happy and it sets the tone. So even if you're in a grumpy mood, ring this woman. She changes it for you.
Oh.
Now, when you're under pressure, often we can't think. I know me, if I'm under stress and pressure when we're creating our magazines or our books and even our show, you think differently. How do you not allow the pressures of the business side of the business you have affect your creative side?
Okay, I threw this idea around last night with my husband and he went, that's a good question. So look, it's incredibly challenging and I don't always find the balance. And so one of the biggest things is I've separated my workspace. So I've got our factory and then I also have my studio at home. We have a beautiful tranquil, it's near the creek. It's just my space that I turn the phone off. I don't answer emails. I don't have a million questions and it enables me just to get into that space and the stillness and the moment. And I feel like in all that, that's where the magic happens. So
it's shutting out the world and the white noise.
Yeah. But I do that at night time and on weekends. So, you know, so it is very hard for me to find the balance. But, so.
Yeah, amazing. And so advice for people starting out. So if you're watching this at home somewhere around the world and you might be wanting to start a homewares business or become an artist, what are some tips you can give our viewers at home as well as here today?
Okay, I would say my biggest tip is to just start. Like, I think if you look at the big picture, it can be really quite daunting of how do you do that? You know, what will it look like? What will it be? And I just think if you just break it back down and just start and do one thing daily. I mean, you might have a job or you might be juggling something else, but if you just try and focus on one thing daily, you'll find that you'll be so further along your journey than you ever imagined you could be. And then once you get into that journey, my next piece of advice would be to build yourself an amazing team.
Yes.
You know what it's like.
Yes, absolutely.
Our business totally changed with the people that are involved in it. We have an incredible team. They support it. It's just everyone has their skill set. You can't do everything. So surround yourself with people that see your vision and can really bring your dream to life.
Yeah.
And that's a gradual process, but I believe you always attract the right people at the right time. So, and then the other piece of advice, which I've lived by, is to dream big and to never, ever give up.
Yes.
No matter what. Like, I feel like there's been times over the 18 years that I've nearly given up, like so many times. And it's that moment where I feel like that I think we go to the next level.
Yes.
So, keep dreaming and everything's possible. And it's an exciting journey and I feel, it's courageous.
It is, very much so. And those moments that you've wanted to give up, because I'm sure if you're watching this at home or anyone here today, there's been moments where we've got up and said, no, I just can't do this.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things you've done to pick yourself up? Like, how do you actually go, no, I need to do this? What's that pull to get up one more time?
Well, I think for me, I keep saying to myself, like, I chose this. I chose to do this. So I get up, I show up, I might put a bit more sparkle on. But, you know, at the end...
Is that possible?
Look, I didn't even bring my sparkle jacket. So look, at the end, I think, you know, you've chosen, this is what you've chosen to do. So, you know, honour yourself and, you know, show up. And it is hard and that's okay. And you can't be great all the time, you know, but
that's a good T-shirt too, isn't it? You can't be great all the time. That takes a bit of pressure off. So I can just sit back and relax. It'll be right.
And I think people look at it from the outside and no one ever really sees how hard it is. So it is hard and it's okay.
And social media, I must say, we'll just jump onto this really quickly, that social media plays a big part in this.
Yeah.
And Facebook, you know, that perfect, polished, airbrushed, filtered photo that you took 2 seconds, happy moment on a holiday between kids screaming and fighting and you and partner. And that's a lot of pressure to always have this idyllic, perfect picture life, and it isn't like that. So just be real, people. We're all going through exactly the same thing as you, and yet we just get up one more time. Biggest supporters, nothing like what you've created in 18 years, what a success story happens without supporters. Take us through who they are and what they mean to you.
Oh, okay. So my number one supporter is my husband, so Mark. He's incredibly supportive. Like, I get home at night time, I'm still gibbering on about work. We've found a really good balance. He does so much at home with Declan. Declan's 14. Mark does the school run, he does the shopping, he does the cooking. And it's got to a point now, like, for Declan, if he needs something, like if, you know, there's not enough milk, he rings Dad. So I'm so fortunate, and he's always been such a great sounding board as well. So that number one is like my beautiful hubby, and then after that it's my family. So my dad worked in our business for 10 years. He's now retired. We keep trying to get him back, but he's not coming back. So, you know, he's been incredibly supportive over the time, and then you move on to all your friends and like everyone that I'm surrounded with is incredibly supportive, and I think they believe in me, and I go, oh, because sometimes you have that moment of self-doubt. So,
And having someone else say it that loves you and knows you, it's so important.
Absolutely.
And girlfriends.
Yes.
Take me through girlfriends and what they mean to you.
Oh, God, I love my girlfriends. They know me, the good, the bad, the ugly. And they know where I'm at without me even really needing to say anything. So I'm incredibly blessed to have girlfriends from all different walks that have very special places in my life, and that just, bring something to different roles as well. But it's just that support, and I think it's that they truly know you. So it can be all of this, and then they go, hang on, what's happening with you? And, that they're constantly reaching out. And, we're all so busy. So to have that in everyone's busyness is just so beautiful and so special. So
yes, because time is the most precious commodity. And when a friend reaches out and you know that they're busy and they're just saying, I'm thinking of you, haven't got time to catch up, but just know that I'm here, it just means the world. And we are all changing the world in our own way. And just knowing that check-in, and I'm blessed to have a Mark, I have a Russ, who does, the amazing things behind the scenes to allow me to do crazy TV shows and do what I do. And again, my girlfriends, it's so important. And I don't know any successful woman that I'm in contact with or close friends with that doesn't have a support network. And if you're not finding it in a relationship, you can find it in friends. So, some women are going through this journey on their own as single parents. So look outside of that unit, look to friends, put your hand up and ask for help, because you don't need to be alone on this journey in business. What's next for Lisa Pollock? What's on the cards?
Oh, look, my checklist is quite large. But
that does not surprise you.
So for me at this stage, we've been incredibly busy. So I know when you rang and we were talking about coming on here, for me I was going, oh God, can I fit this in? Can I do it? And, in saying yes, I wanted to show up for you and support you. And, so for me, I'm going to focus next a little bit on myself. I'm going to have a small pause. But when I say that, I'm still going to be doing, but I'm just going to be more mindful of trying to set some routines in place daily that will keep me going to, be better for the next phase. And so it's always exciting. You never know what happens in our world.
That's what I love about you. It's like, what's next? We don't know.
No. So, so a little bit of self-focus is needed.
Exciting. Yeah, well done. And it's so important. We talked about mental health and women's health and mindsets earlier, and it's so important to have that balance. So I'm really glad to hear that. Now, we have a fun section coming up now called Time Out. Time Out is a fun section around helping people think about travel again, because we've all been stuck and locked down for a very long time. So I'm going to ask you some fun rapid-fire travel questions.
Okay, bring it on.
Okay, so if you sat next to your idol on a plane, what is the first thing that you would ask them?
Well, I'm thinking it's Ed Sheeran.
Okay.
Do you want to dance with me?
Let's dance in the aisles. I love it. What is the most exotic food you've ever tasted?
I've had duck's tongue once.
Oh.
I know, it's a little bit like a chook foot. It's not great.
Anyone not hungry now? No. What is the weirdest place you've slept during your travels?
Okay, I'm going to go. I slept in a factory overseas in -4 degrees in the middle of nowhere.
Oh.
They'd never had a Western woman's day before. Yeah.
Wow.
So, that's
That's pretty. Anyone else done that? I can't say that I have.
My sister went, do you know where you are? You're in the middle of nowhere. And I go, I know. So, yes.
And -4.
Yeah.
Oh. Would you rather go on a safari, have a city break, or visit a tropical island?
Tropical island, hands down.
Cocktail, pina colada.
Water.
Yes.
Tropical island.
And I know you like to camp here in Australia.
Yes.
But have you ever camped abroad?
No, I haven't.
Oh.
No.
So if we have our international friends watching from all over the world, please drop a comment here on where Lisa can go camping in your country.
Absolutely.
We would love to know. What is your favourite travel song? Is it an Ed Sheeran song?
No, it's not.
Sorry, Ed.
I don't really have one.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Letting the team down.
How many of the 7 wonders of the world have you seen?
Seen the Great Wall in China.
Yeah.
Barrier Reef.
Okay.
2.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon,
3.
Okay, perfect. What is the best and worst thing about travelling to a new country?
Oh, look,
Which you've done a lot of.
I've done a lot of. I love the excitement, something new, the experience. It's just like no matter where it is, it's just you can't imagine it until you're there.
Yes.
The worst thing is the food. And yeah, all that comes with the food.
Yes.
Can I leave that there?
I think we can all work out what she means. You get to know the interior of the bathroom very well, let's say that.
Yes, very close. So,
Okay, beach or mountains?
beach or mountains? Oh, I'm going to say beach because I love barefoot.
Yes.
In the sand. I don't know.
Sunset
There's
walk.
just something about that. Yes. So definitely.
What's your most valuable travel possession?
Oh.
I'm going to say phone charger.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you can't take photos, you
Yeah.
can't do anything. But
I was going to
also
say my phone
dry
because,
shampoo for me
yeah,
saves a few days washing the hair.
yeah. So I'd say my phone because I love to capture moments.
Yes.
So, yes.
Who is your dream travel companion?
Oh, my husband and my son.
Oh, good answer. That'll win brownie points. You'll get dinner cooked tonight.
No, we have great time with the little family. So, yes.
Amazing. And are you usually early, late, or bang on time?
Oh, God. I don't like to be late. I'm rushing to be on time.
Okay.
So, yeah, and that's something I'm really trying to work on. I was early today.
That she was.
Yeah.
And how would you describe yourself in 3 words?
Oh, wow.
If you don't say sparkly, I am.
This is really interesting because in my team at Christmas, I always ask each person to choose one word that they want to bring into the year. So now I'm throwing it on the other. I would say happy.
Yes.
That's definitely one thing. Sparkly.
Yes.
And I'm going to say creative.
Yes.
And that's sometimes hard for me to say. So I'm creative.
Give it up for Lisa Pollock. Hasn't she been amazing?
Thank you.
Thank you so much
Thanks,
for being on our show. Thank you so much. Today we put the spotlight on financial wellness and why it is so important for women in particular to be money fit. We welcome to the Girlfriend Hour the incredibly clever Amanda Thompson of Endurance Fitness to talk to us about how to set yourself and your business up for success, $1 at a time. Let's welcome Amanda to our show. Hello. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So great to have you here.
Thank you.
Come and have a seat. I love the name of your business. Please take us through, how did Endurance Finance come up?
There's always a story with me. And who better to name my business but my mum? So while escaping or trying to run away from a cancer diagnosis, I decided to do an Ironman triathlon. And so that's an endurance sport.
Wow.
And it just became my catch cry. And when I went into business for myself, my mum said, what about endurance? And then it's just flowed. So obviously I'm in it for the long term as the advisor, endurance in terms of how long it takes to get your finances in charge.
Yes, because it's not a quick fix, is it? It's not like a magic pill by Sunday we'll be sorted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's endurance.
there
And it's
it
not a
is.
race, people. It's not a race.
No,
Yeah.
definitely.
Fantastic. And why is it so important in particular for women to take ownership of their finances?
We see it every day in the media. The gaps are real. They include that women live longer than men, yet we retire with up to 42% less superannuation.
That's a lot.
Women are more likely to be subjected to financial abuse, coercive control. The highest growing demographic of homelessness is actually single women over the age of 55.
So that's so sad.
If that doesn't scare you into actually taking a hold of your finances, and then when you go into business for yourself, we're behind the 8 ball. So it was 1966, I think, that we were actually allowed to work after being married. So prior to 1966, a woman wasn't allowed to work once she got married.
Gosh.
So it's not that long ago.
No.
So as a generation, we need to start bringing that gap in, instead of just complaining about
Yes,
it, we need to
do
stand up
something.
and do something about it.
Definitely. And you talk about homelessness and that percentage, which is huge. Why do you think that is?
Look, I think that the increasing divorce rate over time, so 1 in 3 marriages fail, which is terrible, but unfortunately it's a reality that we do live in. And again, that financial stress, you know, those stresses in life, we're living longer as male and females as well. So people see themselves as having longer in life and therefore separating, but also that the financial part of it and the cost of living is huge.
Yes, absolutely. And what's one of the biggest mistakes? So if you're watching at home and you're in business, this will be really important for you to maybe take some notes. What's the biggest money mistake that a lot of business owners make when they're starting out?
They run away from it.
They run away from it.
They like making it,
Right.
but they don't actually take heed of what they want to do with it and where it goes and what they truly want to achieve with that money. So the long-term vision is not necessarily there. And when you're not thinking endurance, if you're not thinking for the long term, you're not necessarily reaching goals, or you're not necessarily thinking big. Your structures. So we think very small. Women in particular, we're our biggest critics, and we have a fear of failure. I mean, we're very good at believing in our intuition, but when we actually jump into that water, that whole fear of failure starts to kick in, and instead of tackling those hard things head on, where we put them behind, and then we've got funding. You know, what happens if you want to scale and grow and get funding? So I think one of the biggest mistakes we make is we think small. And I heard you saying that, you know, you want to think bigger. Dream big, and even in your business, dream big. And if you set it up correctly and get the right advice along the way, then you're going to get there.
Yes, absolutely. Would you think it's fair to say that a lot of business owners might just think of it like a 100-metre race rather than an endurance? So they just go, I'm just going to do this bit, and they don't think about that whole endurance journey. So they might spend too much upfront, and it's like, oh, it's gone.
It is. I think that we're so busy. Doing what we do in our businesses.
Being busy.
Yeah, it is. It's true, isn't it? We're busy being busy that we don't step back, and we hear a lot of people talk about planning and setting goals and things like that. But do we actually do it with our finances to see how our business is tracking and where we want to go, in what countries we want to travel overseas?
We probably plan our holidays, do you think, better than sometimes our business planning? I know I probably do sometimes. The holidays.
They're good to
Goal
plan.
setting. Take us through that, because we talk about goals a lot on the show and in life and in business. What's the important part of goal setting, especially when it comes to money and finance?
So you're talking to a triathlete, and it's a financial planning triathlete. Always can bring Lycra into the conversation. And just like health, like fitness, like any type of well-being, when you set a goal for finances and you can measure that, when you achieve it, you feel great about yourself, and positive energy breeds positive energy. And it's the same with finances. When you actually achieve those goals that you have set out, you're more likely to go, oh, wow, I can go again, or I can do this, or I can dream bigger. So goal setting is really important, because it allows us to measure how we're doing in our own hearts and our own visions, not someone else's.
Yes, no, that's very true. And money management. Look, I don't know about any of you, but I find every time there's a meeting with an accountant or a bank manager, I get so anxious. So how do we make it a little bit more fulfilling and, dare I say, fun?
You're talking to her.
She's your answer.
I take the piss out of myself on a regular basis if you work with me. So you can actually learn from my mistakes as opposed to making your own.
That's great.
No, but in all seriousness, talking. Talking's a really huge key to decreasing the anxiety around money. Sharing. I co-host a podcast, and we actually talk and encourage women to talk about money. And so we're learning from each other.
Yes.
You know, and actually being accountable. If you're accountable, you're less likely to be stressed. And taking control of your own finances and knowing what direction, you're less likely to be worried about what the accountant's going to tell you or the financial planner's going to tell you. But at the end of the day, if you bring money back to self, and I know it's really strange for financial person to talk about being holistic and coming back to self. But so many people are driven by social media or what this person says, or this person's turning over 6-figure businesses. And who cares?
Yes.
Who cares?
Yes.
What matters is if you are achieving your goals for you and your family. So if you bring it back to self and know that you're going in a direction that is true to you, it's going to be less anxious for yourself.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I love that. Very great. And so, Amanda, what's next for you?
Oh my gosh. I've just been giggling backstage saying I haven't been home. So the last 3 weekends I've either been at conferences about finance, I've been racing a triathlon on the last weekend, and now here.
You're on the girlfriend hour.
Yeah. It's great, but I'm hanging to get home. But I watched this space, a book called Financially Fit Women.
Excellent.
And I'm going to keep spruiking my cause of women paying themselves a salary. And I've just joined a board that is going to be venture capital funding for women-led businesses. So again, watch this space. Yeah, less than 4% of venture capital is available to female-led businesses.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
yeah. So hopefully lots, but hopefully a little bit of calm over the next few weeks.
That nice balance. Oh, thank you so much for coming on our show. Give it up for Amanda Thompson. Thank you so much. This segment was proudly sponsored by the Lone Suite. And that brings us to the end of another fabulous episode of the Girlfriend Hour. A huge thank you to all of our guests for bringing their energy, vulnerability and awe-inspiring stories to our show today. We've learnt so much from each and every one of you. Thank you to Liz Clift International for dressing me, Kix for giving me these awesome shoes to wear, Feminescence Magazine, Be Styled for Life, and each and every one of you for loving our show. I hope I have been worthy of your time. Okay, girlfriends, until next time on the Girlfriend Hour. Woo! Thank you so much. That's great. Yeah, well done.
Thank you.
It's over quicker than you.
It is.
Do it up in there.